same in-game leader for an extended period of time, which really can't be said the same about Cloud9. But yeah, the pistol round is going to be coming up in just about 5 seconds, and we see full Kevlars again, pretty much, except for Cutler. He does have a few nades to work with, 2 flashbangs and a smoke, and then Scream also with a decoy grenade. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to be utilizing that grenade.
Yeah, indeed, and it seems like CLG is just going to be setting up for some kind of long take here. They got a player in lower dark just to catch the rotates if need be. Also, we're going to have Cutler setting up some flashes just to guide them in, and obviously over here, RPK and Shox holding this off. Lovely one-tap. Shox is going to pick up a double kill, so it's instantly shattering CLG. They've got nothing to say for this. No trade's going to come out finally. Bugly will land one with Existence, and Shox is still going nuts. Cutler is going to be the last alive here. Coming up long, he does pick up one onto Shox, but is it just going to be a consolation factor? He spotted out Smiths, but Smiths will get the drop on him, and G2 will pick up that first ever so important pistol round on the side of CLG's pick.
I mean, that Monster Cat song that keeps playing in the background when we have breaks, Baby I'm Ballin', I feel like that must be describing G2 right now. That pistol round was just
shut down from Shox.
A complete and utter demolition. And Smiths with that one shot at the end, that was
Shox. I think it's going to be coming to some demolition though. He's pushing all the way up short. He's going to pick up a double kill instantly. That's great. Turning towards lower dark though, and JDM still coming out. Shox is going absolutely nuts. He wants to go like Existence in the last map. He's already on lead to the ace. Just Cutler left. He's going to be over in T-spawn though. So Shox going to try and find him out, but I think Existence with the long-range rifle here is going to be finding him instead. But actually, Shox chasing up, trying to get this ace, just going to be jumping off the car, and Cutler's going to finish him off. So denying the ace there, but Smith is going to finally find that last frag, as he did in the last round previously. And if we look, Shox is already 7-2, and we're 2 rounds in.
A bit of a shame we caught 0 kills.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. We caught 0 kills for Shox. We have actually had another monitor installed here, meaning that we can actually go through GoTV ourselves. We can also look at the scoreboard and so on. It's very, very nice.
Production has seriously improved since the first day.
Definitely, and it's very nice to see. But we're going to be seeing a bit of a long take. It looks like 2 great nades. Hayes already dropping low. Smiths with a kill, and then Shox and RPK once again. So definitely good grenade usage from the CTs. They just seem to have this under full control. And yeah, the double nade on long, obviously a very common strategy, but it works out to perfection here. They do get a kill as a reward, and then the push up mid once again, actually also granting them a couple of kills, I believe. So G2 up 3-0 in the first 3 rounds.
We are going to see obviously the full bite coming out from CLG now. They've still got a few nades to work with. Cutler has used his early just to take main control, and you can see a bit of an aggressive position coming out from Shox on short. He'll finally back off. We're going to see the CTs get hold down this over in mid. Scream will get one, but he's going to get traded out very fast by Fugly now, and they're going to push towards B. But Existence, look at his position. This is perfect. He's going to get finished off on JDM, so he goes down to no avail, but Shox pushing through the smoke. Why wouldn't he? He'll find another in Cutler again with a trade, but RPK meanwhile is going to be over in mid. He's going to get a lot of damage there onto JDM. Sorry, Cutler over in lower tunnels, and he's going to finally retreat, but Smith should be able to punish this bomb plan. He peeks in, gets the first one on JDM, but the bomb will be planted successfully, and now RPK and Smiths have got to come in for this retake here. RPK still doesn't realise there's still a player outside the tunnels behind him. He's going to come in behind. Cutler finding that frag, and it's all on Smiths now, 1 versus 2. He's got a kit, so he's got a bit of time to work with, but he needs to hurry up and get in the site. This is going to be a difficult feat indeed.
Yeah, Smith's 1 versus 2 situation. He's got one guy who he knows the whereabouts of, but the other player coming in from dark, and he really doesn't want to peek, but Smiths then takes him down, and Tarek is going to be the one to clutch the 1 versus 1 here. Now, I would actually say that the round is, I mean, the 1 versus 1 is of course won by Tarek, but it's a great play from Cutler. He gets tagged down to 11 HP, then runs into dark and actually runs out of dark towards the T-spawn. I noticed that RPK was definitely looking for him, but I don't think they ever actually met each other. And Smith's getting the first pick here in mid, but we once again have the aggressive push up mid.
This is very clever play. They go for the peak, they get some information, they see if there's any players going towards mid to get a double kill or whatever. Oh, sorry, get a trade kill, you know, go back and forth, because they obviously had both RPK and I think that was Shox up there, or Scream, sorry. But spot no one up in top mid and instead back off and just play more passive. Of course, they do have the early advantage, so that's a bit of a good advantage there for G2. Being 1 man up only a few seconds into the round, Hayes just getting caught out, trying to cross towards long. But you know, picking up on little things like that, even the fact that Hayes tried to cross towards long a couple seconds late, may give G2 some kind of information on the whereabouts of CLG if they're trying to go for some kind of long base take. And it seems like they are going to be setting up outside long at the moment. Finally moving back towards mid, maybe changing their mind, because of course that information has been given away, and you can see G2 playing off it. They're playing slightly more aggressive towards long. We got RPK here trying to get some information there, and now it seems like CLG are going to be heading towards mid, so they could easily split in through B. Cutler's going to be taking the bomb to tunnel, so I imagine they're going to be going for the mid to B split here. But look at Shox' position here. He's going to be holding off a CT spawn over from the A ramp. And this could be a bit of a slaughter if he sprays through the smoke and lands something, but instead, pulling out the nade, they will be running straight into the B bomb site here. Fugly is just trying to get some shots through the smoke, won't land any, but here we go, Scream at the back of the site. The flash gets him completely. He's going to go down. Shox, meanwhile, is going to be flanking a mid, and he's almost catching out Tarek. He will do so, but Tarek's going to land the drop on him, and now RPK and Smiths are going to have to go for this save here. There's no way they can retrieve this. They've got no kits on them, no time, and they're on the other side of the map. CLG's barely damaged as well, and they still got a couple of flashes to ward off the oppressive CTs here on the retake. So G2 just going to be saving these rifles. Clever decisions. Obviously, Smith is going to be peeking, trying to get some exits for the AWP, try and have some impact onto the economy of CLG, which you've got to take into account. Isn't looking great at the moment. The money they have on them, despite being about to win this round, is not great. For example, Hayes will only have $3,500 there to buy anything with, so they've got to be careful about that.
Yeah, so they're going to be looking to saving these two rifles that they do still have alive. Now, I think this is a very, very well played round from CLG. They do lose the first player and actually down 4 versus 5 for the majority of the round, of course. Then they decide to walk out mid with no grenades whatsoever, and instead of throwing the mid to B smoke that usually takes quite a bit of time to land and bloom, they managed to actually sneak their way out mid without being spotted. It's perfect because Shox is just watching it from CT. Then they smoke, and then they can make such a fast play that the CTs don't anticipate it. They do take the B bomb site through fantastic flash work, and also Cutler coming in from Duck and taking a player out there. So now once again, Hayes actually gets picked up as the entry frag. And again, it's Smiths with their ult actually picking him up as well. So they need to change their way of playing this T side. It can't really be their way of trying to win this game if they're constantly going to be at a numerical disadvantage.
But look at Smith over on short. They're going to be ready to go towards the mid here. He could easily catch player off if they try and jump on Xbox after the smoke's run out, so he's got to be very careful here. Instead, seems like the T's are going to be heading a couple towards lower tunnels. Both JDM and Fugly joining there, and it seems like 3 out of the 4 players are going towards the B site here, but you can also see Shox has got the AWP, obviously the double ult coming out for G2. This could be perfect if he peeks. He's just waiting for them to push up, and as soon as they do, he'll be able to get the drop. And waiting for the first peek. Doesn't spot the player pushing out to the smoke, but he's still going to land it onto JDM. There's still 2 more pushing though. They haven't shut him down. The Molotov comes out from Tarek, but he's still alive at the back of the site. Tarek here going to have to back off, but the teammates will support him. Scream picks up 1, and the Molotov's finally affecting Shox. He's going to move out of position though. His teammates supporting him very well, and Cutler going to be the last alive going down to Smiths there. So G2 with an almost flawless round. Low HP on so many of the players, but they'll still come out on top, and that'll be 4-2.
Smith's not an AWPer you normally see go very aggressive, but he just seems so confident in this game. He's taking a lot of aggressive peeks, and him coming in from lower there, taking the straight up 5 versus Cutler. He hits the first op shot through the wall and then finishes him off with a pistol. Now, what I would have liked to see from CLG was throwing that smoke that they threw out of the tunnels and then boosting up on, boosting up over it. I think that was what Shox was kind of afraid of, and why he was sitting so far behind the box and constantly was crouching behind the box. But they didn't do it, and Shox wasn't actually ready for it. Instead, they just try to slow walk their way out, and they end up meeting their demise. So G2 now, once again, in the lead with a couple of rounds, and Smith, this time, taking a more passive way of playing the game.
Yeah, it's nice to see him switch up his positions every round. Obviously, if you put the AWPer in the same place, they're going to expect it. You can see now CLG have no emphasis on B because they think Shox is going to be playing the double AWP towards it. So they're just like, sleep B, there's no point, we'll get completely destroyed. Even if they smoke it off, you know, he's just going to shoot through the smoke, and chances are he'll land 1 frag, if not more. And Shox might come into contact over here in mid. JDM getting ready for this peek. He will do so. Shox is actually going to miss that AWP shot though and back off to a safer position here. But at least they got that information. They've worked out where one of the AWPs are. But I'm not sure if they even know that G2 are going to be on a double up. They didn't witness both Smiths and Shocks utilising it last round, and RPK over on long could do some serious damage as Fugly gets close in the smoke. This could be huge. RPK going to be going for the spray down. Will pick up a double kill, almost a triple, but Cutler's right there with a trade, and he'll finally be finished off by Smiths as well, who's going to be utilising Zorb towards long. Now Tarek and Hayes going to be the last alive. Now just Hayes as he lands a nice headshot onto Scream there, so one-tapping the one-tap master, in fact, and 20 seconds left on the clock with the bomb nowhere in sight. He's going to have to go towards mid, and this is where Shocks is going to be holding with Yorp. He chokes the shot. Hayes should be going for the save here. I'm not too sure why he's peeking. He's got to realise there's only 10 seconds left. There's no way G2 are going to gift in this round, and instead he's going to be running away to save the AWP, and I don't think they're going to be chasing for it either.
So that's the third consecutive round lost for CLG, I do believe. That is going to bring their money up quite a bit here. Was it only the second consecutive? Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's only going to be giving them $1,900, and then it's definitely, it's very nice from Hayes that he not only gets that kill, but he also manages to get out of there alive with the up in hand. That's going to be what they're going to be trying to play off here, I believe, as it is pretty much the only weapon they have. They do have a Tech 9 and a couple of P250s, but in terms of equipment on the G2 side, the AWP is really the only one that can do major damage, and it already has done major damage as JDM has taken down Shocks, who is once again pushing up top mid. And it worked out the first few times, but I think you also need to know when to stop doing it, and when they know they have an AWP in play, probably watching middle, I don't think it's a very good call to keep pushing mid like that.
Might be true, but again, Eco not a lot to lose here. We are going to see JDM pick up an AWP kill, and actually Tarek chiming in with one as well. So instantly, CLG have a nice advantage. It's going to be a 2 versus 5 already, and despite a lack of armor on 3 of the players, it seems like this round should be going to them fairly easily. RPK in existence left for this retake here, and he's still got a Molotov to hold the push out of window here, but still going to be on existence here. We saw him play crazy earlier, but in a 1 versus 5 against all these armored players, or sorry, all these rifled up players, but oh my god, existence! I'm not sure they spotted him, they finally did! He's going to turn around, going for the spray now, and he picked up a double kill, flicking round, but JDM's going to finish him off, and oh, existence, that could have been perfect if he pushed through the smoke at the right time.
I think it was Tarek spotting him as he ran out, but if existence had made it into the smoke before he was spotted, that would have very likely meant that the Ninja Diffuse was coming in, and those are always so exciting to watch here. Unfortunately, he doesn't make it work, but gets 2 frags, which is not too bad of a consolation prize. And we're seeing 3 AWPs on one team and 2 AWPs on the other, so 5 in total, and we're already seeing an AWP frag. Existence willing to take the fight, but he was actually not one of... Oh, I think he was one of the AWPers, but now Smiths has picked it up instead.
Yeah. That is absolutely nuts, though. We're already seeing a Fnatic style with so many AWPs. And we are going to see JDM pushing aggressively towards short here. He's going for his 3rd kill of the round. He's already picked up both existence and I think Shocks there over with the AWPs in mid, and Scream meanwhile going to be trying to get a refrag, holding off middle with his AWP himself. And a fake mid to B smoke will come out. I'm not sure they're going to commit to this. Only JDM's going to be there, and there's no reason for him to push out alone. And the bomb you can see backing off into T spawn now, so that'll be able to rotate all the way over to the A site. And Cutler, talking about the A site, is going to be opening it up. Smith is going to go down, and now it's all on Scream here. He will be going for the save, I can only imagine, but at least trying to get some exits or stop the bomb from crossing towards long, which could always be a possible option, but I'm not sure if he's realised that they've backed off of B.
JDM winning 2 rounds in a row for his team here, getting the first frag, I believe, in both of them, and then picking up a second just a few seconds after. So Scream looking to get a frag here. I think he might win this duel perhaps, but backup is going to be coming in. Good pop flash actually from Hayes. He's going to be taking out the 1, missing the shot on the 2nd, but he's an AWPer. And now he does actually go down in the end, Scream, but JDM with the 3rd. And he's just doing very, very well here. We saw Smins actually trying to regain long control, but Cutler was already in the pit area and he did not know. So while locked in on the long house angle, he gets shot in the side. And G2, the early aggression worked out so well at the start of this game, but CLG doing very well at actually holding off the pushes, and now G2 need to start showing respect to CLG, because if they keep pushing here, they're just going to go down. Had it been the other way around, had G2 just been bullying CLG, that can really screw up your mental game, but yeah, instead it's the other way around, and not only have they screwed up the mental game on the G2 side now, they've also effectively ruined their economy, so they're going to have to go without armor here.
Yeah, but of course, CLG are not pushing their limits. They're not picking up a triple up, although that would be extremely funny to see on the T side. They're just going to be sticking with this Tarek and JDM duo. I still don't know if I agree with the double up, especially knowing they'll be up against an eco now. Obviously, if they get into some close range battles, these pistols can seriously excel at that. And you know, if you don't get lucky with a no scope, you could get into a bit of a deficit there. But regardless, going to try and keep these orbs so they can bring them into the buy rounds, which is always possible here. And now we're going to see Cutler and Fugly both chime in with kills as they push up onto towards short. Scream's over on the site. Sorry, Shock's over on the site, but he's going down, and Scream meanwhile in mid, challenging JDM. And somehow they're getting something out of these rounds. They only bought a deagle there on Shocks, but they've actually already picked up 2 kills and a lot of damage onto Fugly and JDM as well. Tarek's still at 60, and Scream should have no chance of really getting anything out of this round. He might be able to hit Fugly. And oh my god, that ding! Tarek instantly puts him down to 4 HP. And look at the HP of 3 of the players on CLG. 2 of them are below 10, and JDM up on 30 there. So potential for Scream to have been able to retake that. Obviously, that crazy dink, his aim is just absolutely out of this world. But regardless, CLG going to win yet another on the board. G2 finally going for their buy here, so no AWPs on the CT side at all. Just sticking with these rifles. I think the triple up they bought up might have been a bit too excessive, and it seems that they've slaughtered their economy in the process of doing so.
Yeah, but 5-5. The second time, I guess you could say, that the scores are equal. I think they might have actually also been at 2-2, but now we are at 5-5, and we still have the double up setup on CLG. Now, I like the way they handled the eco round. They sent in the 3 AK players as the first guys in. They had a guy playing towards long with an AWP, and then they had a guy holding the middle with another AWP. And that was a very nice way of dealing with the pistols. I think that's why they came out on top in the round, even though it was very close, but that was mostly due to G2 having insane individual skill. But we saw Scream yesterday. You talk about him having a totally nutty aim, and he dropped 81.5% headshot yesterday in the last map of the best of 3 versus who was it again? I can't quite remember. Was it Cloud9?
Cloud9.
Yes, I thought so. Okay. Now Smith's going to be seeing actually 2 players. He's going to be taking out the first and the second. That's very quick from him. Now JDM is going to be returning those Smith's drops, and Shocks also drops, not dropping to his death, but just dropping down into the CT spawn here as APK once again playing this long house passively and with a smoke, so that's going to make it just the harder for CLG to actually push out. And Tarek also going to be taken down now by Shock, so only 2 players remain for CLG, and one of them should be picked up here in just a short amount of time. Cutler going to be taken out the first, but Scream in perfect position, going to be spraying, but he's missing all of his shots, and Cutler is actually going to take him down. So now it's a 2 versus 2 situation, and this round totally turned on his head now.
But look at the time, there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. Cutler should be able to get this as long as he sticks a bomb. He has to hurry up and plant. JDM meanwhile taking one out in mid, and I think the bomb plant is going to be secured here. And oh my god, JDM, there's no way he actually just picked up that double kill, saving the round for CLG, and what an incredible feat.
That round, what a comeback. I mean, Cutler gets the first kill. He shouldn't ever be able to get away with the second. Scream, we're actually sitting in the round talking about how insane his aim is, and he just flubs all of his shots.
But the fact of the matter, not even relevant to that, is the fact that the last 2 players, they didn't know the bomb was going down the B side. We only just guessed it might go down the B side, and we're spectating. They had no idea. And with 5 seconds left, they both rushed towards JDM as to kill him. Very bad decision. While it would have happened anyway and the bomb would have gone down, they were not to know that. And in that position, I think it was a bad rush from them. And regardless, JDM's going to prevail. So just a disgusting round from JDM. He's absolutely out of his mind.
I wouldn't say that I agree. I think they knew the bomb was going towards the B bomb site. It is they can't really be sure if the timer is going to run down, but still, I think, you know, they had to cross mid, and I think they kind of had a good idea. Even if one player goes down, then the bomb plant comes in, and you know, they know that they're going to be meeting potentially an AWP in mid, but he can only really kill one of them, and then the bomb plant comes down, and then they kind of have to take the battle.
It's just that with such little time, with one player over towards mid, they couldn't know 100% that the bomb was going to be there in time. But of course, it was a risk-reward play, and regardless, whatever happened, JDM comes out on top, and we're going to be seeing 4 deagles brought up by G2 to no avail, though they will all be going down. Apart from Scream, he's going to pick up a 1 deagle for the Tarek over in B, and meanwhile RPK is also going to be grabbing ugly, but he's going to be traded out quickly, and 2 kills for a bit of an eco there. They bought a few $1,000s worth of guns, but CLG taking another round on the board, and they've got a very impressive T side so far here in this first map.
Yeah, I wouldn't really have been expecting anything different. We see it here again, 5 seconds. So the first guy goes down, and RPK pushing. Yeah, you
Oh,
might...
look. Oh, you could see his aim was aimed towards the tunnel, so he assumed that the JDM was running away because the bomb was not going to go down. Oh, no,
Yep,
that wouldn't make sense.
that wouldn't make sense.
No, sorry,
I do kind of agree, but I think
yeah.
they maybe just didn't look at the timer. I do agree now that we replay it. It is a bit of a weird decision, but JDM taking the perfect positioning, and the first two kills open up the B bomb site, so they play it perfectly. They send one guy in to plant the bomb and the other to just hold off the rotations. But CLG, they were kind of locking them down in mid, and that kind of signals that they know the bomb is going to be planted. If not, then JDM will probably be peeking more aggressively for the last frag, and he is going to be peeking aggressively this time, but Shock's in prime position, going to be dealing with him, making quick work of him, and is now going to be putting his team in an advantageous position here.
But now they're in some downtime real quick. I just realised, I meant to say the other thing. I meant to say that he assumed that JDM was running away because the bomb was going down, not wasn't going down. But either way, doesn't really matter too much. And we are going to see, obviously, G2 with the early advantage into this round. Smith is trying to capitalise on that as well, picking up another kill onto Hayes over in mid. So CLG, once going from some great rounds, a few in a row, in fact, now going to a complete deficit. They're being shut down 1 versus 1. And now Tarek is going to be last alive. He's only just going to take Shocks out, but receive a fair bit of damage in the duo. And now he's down to 34 HP, receiving the bomb over in mid, and he hasn't actually realised that 2 of the G2 players are over towards the B site. He's actually luckily going to make the elected decision to go towards A after killing 2 over in mid, which is a good one to go to. But of course, there is still Smith with the AWP, and I'm not sure Smith is going to allow him to cross towards the site. He does receive a flash, but his position is going to be given away, and now he's going for the short plant here, but actually just cancelling that, committing to the gunfight, and actually landing it as well. 9 seconds left on the clock. He should be able to get this bomb down. Plenty of time left, and they're both going to be pushing him from short though. Low HP on existence, sorry, and still a Molotov on Tarek. I would not count him out of this situation. He's going to be holding on to the site, but no, peeking out too aggressively in existence will punish him for that. G2 finally securing a round, and 5 to 7 now. Oh, sorry, 6 to 7 now.
Those two should be renamed to DE Shocks' Playground, because that's exactly what it is right now. Shocks is just pushing mid every single round, and this time he got 3 kills. He got 1 from a passive position, but then he just runs up short. He gets stinked twice, I believe, through a wall. Still manages to survive, and then just calmly executes. Actually, not executes, but assassinates one of the CLG players here. And yeah, it just seems like he can do whatever he likes. He's still going to be coming out on top. And that's definitely very, very important for his team.
Oh, but Smith's trying to hit the shot onto Tarek, instead takes out Hayes, and RPK luckily will secure that frag as well. And Cutler's going to be pushing up short here with the support of Fugly, and this is exactly where Shocks is going to be holding once again, as you said, his playground, and he's ready for this push. He's playing a very passive angle. I like to see this when you're on short, of course, because it basically means they don't know you're on the site, you're not over peeking towards short, you're not challenging the gunfight, and they've got to walk into your aim, which is also very important. You can also duck, just head glitch it, and meanwhile, the last 3 remaining players of CLG are yet to find a trade frag.
Shocks this time playing passively, going to be smoking up, and now he must have surely seen that CLG also smoked out. It usually, when that smoke comes through, it is an indicator that they are going to be jumping down into CG spawn, but this time they're actually boosting it. It's a bit of a one-way smoke, so Smiths is not actually going to even realize that JDM is there. It's very nice from CLG, and the push is going to be coming into the A-bomb site this time around.
Shocks is still over in CT spawn. He's actually going to be in a prime position to come in and maybe go for some jump shots onto the CLG players, but all 3 players on the site, while getting short plant, I'm not sure if I agree with this. A double molly does go out. Obviously, they do know the players will be retaking from short, but I think it'd be better to challenge that if you're going to commit to the short plant regardless. JDM taking out Shock, Scream still burning in the molly. Needs to hurry up and push in, but doesn't matter. RPK, meanwhile, coming up from long is going to be securing 2 headshots, and G2 equalise the scoreline with a 7-7.
Yeah, those 2, we talked about it being one of the more even maps in the map pool, so an 8-7 isn't too uncommon here, but still, I believe CLG would have liked to at least have a 9-6 going into this second half, as G2 have been very, very on point aim-wise, and if they get to just run around on the T side and CLG really can't take control of any of the areas, I think this is just going to be an impossible feat. Scream taking a bit of damage through the wall there, even though they actually did nade it, so just a blind shot connecting.
Yeah, but again, JDM really, really improved, as has Smiths as of late. And early 2016, we've seen them perform very well. Whereas, yeah, Smiths used to get a lot of criticism, at least back in late 2015, or maybe mid 2015, for not performing as well as he could have on the Titan lineup. But very improved now, I think you can agree. I think you can agree that he's one of the top paupers in the world, which hasn't always been the case, at least. He's dropped on and off, I think, in recent times. But again, as well, JDM also going pretty nuts here for the T side. 13-8 is his score at the moment, so he's second, just below Cutler, going 14-10. So picking up a lot of key frags. But Hayes actually is only going 3-12, and I'd agree with that. I haven't actually seen too much from Hayes this map.
We've mostly been seeing the Opus highlighted here because they've had a lot of good rounds, and then of course Shox, who's been having this no holds barred play style, at least on this map. JDM, it seems like CLG are relying a lot on JDM to get the entry frags and finding the first picks here, and yet he's not the first man up on shot. But I do think it's a good idea to clear out short and clear out the short angles for the AWPer, and then have the AWPer come up there. Because it is a very close quarters area, but Hayes is going to be finding a frag in mid, and Smith's slightly blinded, and he's not realizing that Tarek actually dropped down into the CT spawn. So Molotov coming in as Hayes finds another, and then he gets found, and Smiths might be taken out here. Takes out JDM, but Tarek's going to be taken out first, but Smiths wise to it, and 10 seconds on the clock, so a 2 versus 2 situation. Smiths, if he finds Fugly here on a jump shot, the Kukli trying to come in, but can't quite do it, and then Smiths gets shot in the back. So Existence, the leader of G2, has to pull through here. 1 versus 2, an 8-7 scoreline would be fantastic for him in this first half of Dust 2.
But there's no reason to save. Obviously, we're in the last round. He's going to push towards the site fast as a short bomb. So Cutler is in position well for it, but it doesn't matter because Fugly's going to find that frag regardless. And CLG will secure a positive scoreline going into the second half, 8-7. Playing a little better than their North American counterparts, Cloud9. Picking up some T-side rounds for a change.
Yeah, I'm not... It's actually a bit of a poor timing here from Tarek. The way that he peaks so late, the RPK is already rotating back to the site. He could have had a free frag onto Smiths. That gives up the bomb site. I think it's very, very unlikely that RPK is going to be standing at long and picking off 3 players, pretty much like Smiths did. So, had he removed the strength on the A bomb site there, I think that would have made the round much easier. But they do still pick it up in the end, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, we are going to see a kit coming out from Cutler. The rest of them just going for the full armor. G2 actually, despite being on the terrace side, have only got one armored player, and he's going to be going down very fast. JDM is going nuts. He's picking up a double kill. Scream with a fast trade though, and now it's back down to a 3 versus 2. This aggression on mid from CLG is going very well. The bomb is now dropped, and Cutler can spot this out quite easily. He's actually going to back off back towards the B site here, and Scream has got to come out with something this round to try and equalize the men here. Not in a very advantageous position, at least. He doesn't know that there's going to be no players holding mid at the moment. He doesn't realise that he can just completely grab the bomb without any challenge, because CLG obviously need to play passive in this situation. They need to keep playing the trade game until they get down to the last man, and they should be okay. But right now, it is going to be a bit of an issue for G2. They've got plenty of time on the clock, going to be heading towards mid, and the bomb also electing to go towards lower tunnel. So maybe Scream forces a rotation over. You can see, obviously, he could force Cutler over to the A site, who's currently holding CT, and then maybe drop down into CT and flank into B to support Existence with the bomb. Who knows, really? Scream's trying to at least gather some information over towards A. He's going to spot out Fugly. That's going to force a rotate from Cutler, just leaving mid there. And I'm going to be holding CT spawn instead, and Scream just committing with the flashbang, dropping down into CT spawn. It's going to be great. Cutler doesn't realise he's going to be into the gunfight though, and he will go down, leaving just Existence. But the B site is clear now, and he can take control of that. Waiting for the B. He spots out Hayes there. Hayes needs to come up with a frag. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. I think Existence just wants to secure this bomb plant here, which he will do, but no armor and just a USP against the 3 closing in North Americans, and they're going to find him from tunnel here. Cutler's already tagged him out, and he's got a repeat here, but Fugly will instead take the frag onto Existence, and that'll be the round to the Americans there. CLG picking up a night and a very good pistol round to start off this second half.
A bit of a slow adaptation from CLG, I'd say. They see Scream jumping down into CT, and it will be unlikely that they're going to be playing the A-bomb site. He jumps down into CT spawn and tries to take the fight. But I like that Hayes actually rotates out of the bomb site, so it doesn't really impact the round that much. If he goes in for the 1 versus 1 duel versus Existence, that's much worse. But still, I feel like he could have been holding an angle still when he jumps down into CT spawn. They surely must know that it is going to be towards the B-bomb site. It is going to go, but Fugly, who's picking up 2 quick frags, and then JDM with 1 as well. And D2, of course, without armor, so you're not expecting too much from them, but I'm sure they would have been happy with a kill or two. They can still get it though. They do have Scream with the Deagle, which is to be feared no matter the HP on the player. And then Shox also, who has been massive so far this game, going to be actually putting a bit of damage onto Fugly.
Cutler just trying to get this jump shot, trying to finish off Shox there, though. They're so low HP, it's really going to be difficult for them to pull anything out. But despite the odds, Scream will pick up a 1D, because why wouldn't he, onto Hayes there. So it's back down to a 2 versus 4, but with the time ticking down and the bomb dropped outside long, as well as the amount of rifles from CLG and SMGs, there's going to be nothing coming out from G2 there. CLG taking it into double digits and securing 10.
I was just about to say, Tarek has a Molotov. Why are they not really using this to get Shox out of the position? But they did do it in the end, and he goes down, and then they secure the round. So it's not really so much to be said about the round itself, but Smiths on 16 kills is really not that common. You know, something, well, not obviously him being on 16 kills, but him being one of the biggest fraggers here, and JDM takes down Existence, as Existence also takes down Tarek.
So an equal A scoreline, slightly favouring the terrorists here. You'd rather have a 4 versus 4 instead of a 5 versus 5, because of course it means the CTs are going to have to change the positioning and split around the players according to the amount of map control they want to have. Of course, they don't have any short control right now. JDM's over in CT, so he's got to focus on mid and short, backing off finally to hold the short push here. But now instead, they're going to be playing for retake on A, so he's going towards long, allowing the terrorists to have complete access to short if they'd like to. Of course, that flash is probably going to force him back over towards the A site there, which is very likely. It seems like he is going to be doing so, moving up and holding a more passive angle here. But G2 slowly adapting to this. They are going to be finally rotating back towards mid here, throwing out mid to be smoke, but with no players up in tunnel, I can imagine they won't be committing to any kind of mid take, instead going towards short. That's exactly what they're going to do. I'd like to see some kind of like CT drop down here from one of the players, maybe get a little flank into CT's ball before the B rotate comes out, but regardless, the A push is activated and they're going to be pushing on very fast. Smith attempting to get this bomb down, and they still not got a player on short, so he's going to be committing probably not to a short plant. Actually instead, Scream backing off, and now they have both short control and the short plant to support that as well. Molotov coming in over on long, and Shox is held out of position here. Out the back, and I think they realise he's gone for this flank here. They must know by now, and Cutler is going to be retaking from CT with Fugly and Hayes as well. This is all going down. 3 players over towards CT score, and Hayes meanwhile taking out RBK, and Smith is also going to be landing on to Hayes. So the trade game is going back and forth here. Now Scream's in a 1 versus 2, but the bomb is planted for him. It's ticking away. They have to get on this defuse. Cutler's the only one with the kit. Scream has to commit to this fight, because he's not even defusing the bomb yet. They're going to peek out. Scream, he's going to go down, but is there time? It seems like there is.
So many misplays that round, it's insane. Shox cleverly falling back in the long house there, because he kind of, his teammates take over the A-bomb site. They can inform him that there's no one there, but they've just spotted JDM, who then has rotated back so long, and he was looking for Shox. He even Molotoved it out. He plays it perfectly with his timing on the lurk there. Then, first of all, Smiths over peaks when they come 3 guys from CT, and also Cutler had a smoke, which he didn't use, not on short and not on the bomb. He had a smoke and a flash. So by doing so, he could have just had his teammate cover his angle, and then just committing to the defuse. They do still win the round, even though Scream misses a bunch of shots. So many misplays, but it does seem like it's going to be CLG coming out on top in that round.
JDM trying to get a shot off towards Bell Tunnel. He's going to back off towards mid, but actually, agreeing on that, I think Shox, after he got mollied out in long doors, he should have definitely backed off towards short.
No, I don't. That's not what I'm saying. I think there was a perfect play by Shox, actually. I think it was perfect that he falls back. They don't think he's going to be there. He goes from behind, and he should have really gotten 2 kills. It was perfectly timed by him. Very, very good decision.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch if they saw him there, though, so that obviously has an impact. They didn't see him, and I guess it was a right play there. And they're going to be heading on straight onto the B side, over the pistols and armour as well, with Smith picking up an AK there, and Existence actually on a flank here. He's going to miss a few shots there. Tarek spotting him out there, and he's going to be last alive there, so just trying to save this and try and pick up any kind of rifles from this round, but with the amount of HP left and his position not being very good, as well as the bomb being down over towards the B doors, it's going to be very difficult. And you can see, I like this, CLG are playing patient. They're not going too aggressive. They know he hasn't got a lot to save here, only a pistol, so there's no point risking their lives over it. Let him over peak, not let them get close range, and allow him to use his one-tap capabilities with that P250 there. And Fugly throwing out his Molotov should be the death of Existence. He's going to be forced into the corner. Oh my god, I'm not sure if it's going to reach him. 3 HP left, and they know he's there though. They know he's cornered, and Fugly is therefore going to be allowed to push him, but that was very close to that Molotov.
Yeah, I think it's nice to see CLG this time using the Molotov to flush out their opponents. He does only have a pistol. They know he's on low HP, so I mean, in that case, maybe you should just save the Molotov money, I guess you can say. But then again, it's nice to see them actually utilizing their grenades. I think we saw the Tariq Molotov that was, in my opinion, very late, and then we saw Cutler not using his smoke before, so I feel like they're making a lot of mistakes in terms of grenade usage, but this time Scream is going to be picking up Tariq, and yeah, it's an entry frag for G2 this time. Fugly holding the lines, but not for long as Shox takes him down, and now the A bomb site only has a single survivor, a lone wolf, I guess you can say, and yeah, it's a three players on the CT side. It's much harder to defend with, of course, as they have to kind of play a bomb site with one player each, and then you also need mid control, but they're actually going to be playing 2 guys in mid, and
yeah.
I like this decision.
It seems like CLG are now playing in the position where if G2 commit to the A site, they're going to allow them to take it and just go for the save. They're hedging all their bets over towards B or mid, and if they can maybe catch a couple of players pushing up short, or the terrorists go for a B take, CLG will be able to stop it. However, I could imagine with G2, if they commit to this long push, they've got 3 players outside of there. If they actually push 3 players towards long and get the bomb down, I think CLG will just go for the safe save, which is obviously a better decision. Not spreading your players out so you can't trade, and instead just putting them all together over towards the same area, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing here. And we can see RPK is going to be coming out of lower tunnel, but that's exactly where Cutler's going to be. So it could go very badly for one of them, and it will go badly for RPK as Cutler finishes him off. And now it's a 4 versus 3, but CLG probably going to be looking to save this after G2 take control of the A site, and the bomb will be going down as well. So I'm not sure if it would be a good idea to attempt this retake.
This is one of the rounds where you know it is a possible retake if you have a bit of luck. But you usually make the call that if we don't get a fast frag, we're not going to commit to this. And right now, they're really not getting very many fast frags. So if they don't start finding frags soon, I'm sure they're just going to be falling back. But they're actually committing to this. And now they find that frag that they're looking for. The smoke is perfectly blooming on the side. They find the manning twos, and they do. That's Cutler getting the frag. Now the smoke, he could actually potentially go for this defuse, and JDM takes one more player out, and he gets both of them. So Cutler actually ends up getting the defuse. What a throw from G2. Perfect positioning. They don't overpeak at all. They just get absolutely outplayed. Cutler with the perfect smoke. It's not planted very well, the bomb. They had so much control on that A bomb site. The whole bomb site was given up, and yet they plant it for A plant instead of A long. That changes it up because that smoke then perfectly blooms. Cutler can simply sit and press his E key, and he wins the round. And then JDM picks up 2 massive frames.
I have no idea what I just saw. That was absolutely out of this world, and it seems like G2 are going to be trying to reset this. But CLG, if they didn't pick up that first kill onto RPK in mid, they definitely would not have gone for a 5 versus 3. 5 versus 4, though, obviously, as you said, trying to pick up a fast frag. They do land onto Shox, and that pretty much gives them the chance to retake it in an equal situation. But I would not expect something like that to come out. If they didn't have the smokes, that wouldn't have happened. And props to CLG, because that was a very impressive round, to say the least. And Cutler are going to be holding towards mid. RPK, he wants to go for another fight here, and I'm not sure if Cutler's going to come out on top. He will go for the spray down, getting quite a few shots, not connecting all of them, and he's finally finishing them off, receiving 98 damage in turn as well. So he's back down to 2 HP, and it's all going to be on Shox and Existence, who's going to be capturing off Cutler in lower tunnels.
Yeah, and the economy on CLG is not looking too bad, actually. So I like the idea that he goes for this save, because there really is no way back into the round. But still, it does look quite nice with the economy, and Shox is going to be just evading that shot for now. JDM willing to take a peek again, and again, and now again. So he's going to go for the quad repeat, and Shox does take down JDM. We unfortunately missed the action there, actually, but yeah, JDM gets picked off, and the money, it does seem like they are going to be able to string a buy in here. They're actually even going to be buying up with an AWP. So luckily, because of them winning 5 rounds in a row and them having quite a few players alive, they do actually rebuy for Cutler on 25 and 11. That is a massive performance from him.
Definitely so, and I think JDM with the peeking there was listening in his headphones to the modern day philosopher DJ Khaled. Every time he peeks, it's another one, and another one, and another one. But going back into the game, obviously CLG on a fairly weak buy here. They've only got a pistol on Hazed as well, only 1 kit on Fugly, and they got a few nades, I guess you could say, you know, 3 smokes, a couple of Molotovs and some flashes. No HEs, but I think they got enough to hold off G2, but it doesn't seem like their smoke usage has been too influential, holding back players. I think obviously the retakes, the smokes were very important to get that defuse at the end of the day, but I think just holding off, they kind of allowed G2 to take map control, push out quite aggressively towards mid, and you can see Tariq is coming out in the smoke. They usually take advantage with more flashes than smokes. I've seen at least from CLG on the CT side, and Smith's working his way up towards short here with his teammate Existence. They're going to be trying to pick off someone towards here, and Tarek is going to be the only person even challenging this at the moment. There is an AWP on JDM though, holding short from Car, which could also be pretty influential. But right now, talking about influential, RPK is going to pick up a double. Tarek gets the fast straight though, and it's back down to a 4 versus 3. But CLG need to hurry up and equalise his score, but it's not going to happen. And Smith pushes up towards short and lands another frag, but fast retake is already on. Fugly is going to be left alone though. He's trying to pick up another one, but Scream is going to choke the shot, and Scream finally landing that headshot onto Fugly, and G2 regaining yet another round, but to what avail? 9-13. They picked up a double round in a row, and CLG are now finally into their eco.
And CLG lost their AWP that has been actually working out really, really well for them. I dislike this peak because he runs into the line of fire already. Of course, it can be sometimes hard to know, and just, I mean, the mission there obviously is to try to help his teammate, but he just wide peaks right out to the line of fire. Instead, he could have just peeked the close angle, and they could have taken him down together. I think it's also stupid that you have to have 2 players from the B site peeking, 1 player, and have a guy set up in the CT spawn who also peeks the same player before you can actually get the frag. If you have to commit 3 players with good guns to getting a single kill, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, and we are going to see a triple stack coming up from CLG over on the B side. Nothing to lose in these pistols here. Tarek will get the first dink, and Hayes actually landing a frag, so that's already a player down for G2. The trade coming out from RPK. He's over in tunnels. He's obviously got this armor, but he's receiving a dink in throw as well. So Smith is going to chime in. JDM being finished off, and Tarek is actually grabbing a rifle here for CLG. So a very good rifler, obviously. Might be able to actually pick up some exit frags onto Smith as he leaves tunnels here and goes back towards mid.
Look at the lurk from Shox. He's somehow coming from behind, and Cutler gets taken out, and now the A site is giving up. That is only Tarek left. What a good flash. But PK is going to be blinded by his teammate there. A bit of miscommunication, I'm sure. And then Shox being the cleanup guy. He's on 23 kills as well. 23-18. Not as impressive as Cutler, of course, 25-13, but still very impressive. If you have a 1 kill per round, that Shox, this is the 24th round, so at the moment he does not, but he hasn't played out the 24th round yet, so I still call it 1 kill per round. It is very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, very true. And obviously, he's actually been getting a lot of doubles and a lot of very influential kills. And again, you know, instead of saying, you know, 1 kill per round, again, 10 of the rounds he lost. So, you know, he's picking up, taking up those rounds, you know, 2 kills a round, which is also very impressive. But regardless, we are going to see an AWP on either side. Not very many nades on the CLG side here. Absolutely no smokes unless they've already been used. Just flashes at the moment. The kit on Fugly as well. And a lack of head armor on the majority of the players, obviously, being against these full AKs and AWP on Smiths. But G2 just establishing a default here. RPK is just going to be holding the tunnel push, and everyone else just playing more passive positions, not getting too aggressive early on, and just waiting for some aggression from CLG, which is not going to be given to them. CLG are not ones to get too aggressive in these kind of late match scenarios. 13-10. Obviously, CLG need to hurry up and pick this up, otherwise they're going to be forced into yet another double eco, and then probably all the way up to 13-13. But the push is going to come out in mid. Cutler, meanwhile, landing the first frag. Tarek is going down there to scream, and Cutler peeking out with a flashbang. He peeks out preemptively and then still lands a shot. He will get traded out, but the 3v3 is on, and Hayes is also going to chime in with a much-needed frag, stopping RPK onto the B site. But I'm not sure if I agree with RPK pushing there. He didn't have a teammate to trade for him, and now G2 are not going to be in a good position. Very detrimental, and JDM holding this off with an AWP. He picks up one, but there's still Scream here, the headshot master in a 1 versus 3 situation. He drops out the smoke to hold his back, and he can go for the short plant here, but JDM is going to be positioned well if he tries to cross to the site. But he's still going to be committing to this plant here. I'm not sure if JDM spotting him out there. Very, very close. Goes for the shot, but Scream only commits to it here. I'm not sure why he's challenging. This is so dangerous. If JDM, all he has to do is land 1 bullet. Scream going for the 1 tap, but Hayes is going to land it instead, and that'll be the round to CLG. So finally bring it back, a very important round there. And that'll be 14-10, so almost securing match point for the Americans.
You say that JDM only has to land 1 bullet, but no in Scream, and it's pretty much the same story.
That's true.
But I think it's a good choice to actually peek in that situation. The A bomb site is definitely one of those bomb sites where if you get the plant, you can still be very much locked in on the bomb site, and you're not going to win a round by standing on the A bomb site when you have an AWP from long that can wall bang the box, and you don't know where the two other players are. One could maybe be coming from long, or they could be splitting CT and short. You need the first frag, and then you can kind of fall back into the site, or even get up to Goose or something. If he takes out JDM in that position, then he can play the two players from short totally differently, and I think that would have actually enabled him to definitely win the round. So I like the peak that he makes there towards JDM.
Yeah, it would have been great if he even landed that headshot, though. Of course, he could have backed off towards long, and maybe done something with that, or dropped onto ramp, of course, without having the threat of JDM. But a double AWP for the T's here. We're going to see Smiths and Shocks picking one up as usual there. And trying to find some openings over towards the B site. Shocks is just going to be challenging here. But I think Hayes has realised this. He's going to be playing more passive on B. He's been playing the spot quite a lot, actually. Hayes and Tarek, at least, over on B. And a couple of Molotovs are going to be used towards the B site, but counter mollies chucked out by Cutler there are going to stop any kind of early aggression. And Tarek boosted over the mid to B smoke over on the CT box there, just holding for any aggression. So I think that CLG are thinking it's going to be some kind of B take. We have seen G2 do some kind of fake, I guess, like a couple of mollies towards the B side, as well as some aggression out towards mid with a smoke, but not committing to it. And meanwhile, the AWP shot will go off over in B. So this is even adding to the idea that CLG are going to be forcing some rotates over, and that's exactly where Smith is going to prevail, because he's holding the rotate from Tarek, and he's not going to let him achieve that. Shock still pushing into the site, RPK trying to support him here, but there's still Hayes just baiting shots out. He's not committing to any gunfights. Finally does, lands one, but there's still three more players pushing into the tunnels. Smith goes down as well, and Hayes is defending his bomb site excellently, but Shocks with a wall bang on the box will take him down, and now it's a 2 versus 3, and the retake has got to hurry up. 17 seconds and the bomb is going to go down on screen, but low HP on Shocks means this is definitely not out for CLG, but they're going to have to make a very elective decision whether they want to commit to this. And as you said earlier, Nate, so they need to get a fast frag if they want to do so. Obviously, if they lose one of their players, a 1 versus 3 retake is going to be very difficult in this situation. Pretty much unlikely. JDM not finding that first frag. I think Fugly might want to save here. He's not got any chance in really regaining this. You can see Scream obviously realises that and will be challenging, but 4 bullets left on Fugly. He spots out existence, and he's going to have to run all the way back, taking an AWP on his exit and allowing G2 to secure 11 rounds on the board.
Yeah, as you say, they kind of need the first frag to actually make it work. And as you're pointing out on the second monitor here, is that CLG, they picked up 1 round after, well, G2 picked up 3 rounds, then CLG picked up 1 round, and now they lost again. So the money is reset, and that's not very nice for them. Hayes doing very, very nicely here. Takes out 2 players, actually. He also does a lot of damage on Shocks. But what I would have liked to see is, well, I like the decision from JDM to pick up an AK to try to go for the retake, but he had both a smoke and a Molotov. He uses the Molotov on the big box. I would have liked to see him throw a smoke into dark from outside the B bomb site, and that would have enabled him to go in for a 2 versus 2 retake, essentially, with big box already clear. But we're missing a bit of the action here. Smiths is not really watching much in mid, and meanwhile, Scream does take down JDM.
That was a sick one tap there over towards short, and obviously CLG with only this AWP on Tarek is going to be taking it instead of a Fugly here, and obviously JDM's already been dropped on short, as you mentioned, so he's going to be peeking out towards mid instead, and Scream is very close, so he's got to watch out. This aim punch could come into play with a lack of armor here on the Americans. Be Fugly with that, but he's got a PT50 to support him. An aggressive push towards mid. Look at Fugly here. He could do huge damage. He's going to be pushed all the way up. They haven't realised it. Scream spots him out, but neither of them are going to land a shot. He's still challenging here. Will finally back off, but that was so unlucky. If he landed that shot onto Scream, if they didn't realise he was there, could have been huge for the flank. And CLG could have easily picked up a double kill there, but regardless, Tarek is going to be mollied off on short. Still trying to challenge Smith here. The shots is going to meanwhile land a shot over towards the B site, taking out Hayes, leaving Cutler on the outside of B here, just challenging RPK. But with only a pistol, it's not going to be going too well for him. And Tarek, of course, still towards CT spawn, is going to be trying to save, but they're going to catch him off guard. Scream taking him out and putting GT all the way up to 12.
I didn't pay too much attention to the radar there towards the end, but I think Tarek should have gone for the save a bit earlier in the round. His teammates were falling like flies, and they were only pistols, and he must have known that there's really no way to get back into that round when there's only 2 players left. He is one of them. He's low on HP, and he's stuck in CT spawn. Now, this is a very good peek from Shocks. This tight angle works out perfectly. But look at this. He's in CT, and all of his teammates are dead, and he has a very, very expensive weapon, and they still don't have money to buy now. So having that eco-op, as people like to call it, is very, very nice. And because he didn't really go for the save early enough, he gets taken out, and that means that they're now going to be on full pistols instead of having an open 4 pistols in this round.
Yeah, and Scream's going to find the first frag of that round. Tarek going down over in mid, so the Deagle is out. And CLG are only left on these P250s, these 5.7s, and C775. So still close range weapons, and close range is going to be important as G2 attempt to push into the site. Fugly's going to deny them one, but Cutler also going down. The Scream picks up a triple that round, and that will be the round going to G2. So almost equalising the score, and this is where CLG needs to come back into their buy round after a double eco there, and sorry, a triple eco after getting reset, and finally will be able to afford a single AWP, not going for the double, although it would be possible if Tarek substituted a couple of his nades.
I don't think there's a thing called triple eco. It must have been...
No, not triple eco,
yeah,
sorry.
a double eco, of course,
eco.
yes. Okay. But
the first round was the round they lost when they were on the
Of course, yeah, of course, yes. And then they went for a double eco. Yeah. So they're going to be buying into this round now. And Tarek, this time, the mid push works in favor of CLG instead of Shox, who has just been bullying them so much. A good double nade, a lot of damage onto Scream, actually. 27 HP on him only. And the entry frag, or the first frag, to not make the viewers mad, some people do get quite enraged if you call it an entry frag. I call it an entry frag. It's an entry into the round. But with the entry frag, or the first frag into this round, and then also good damage onto Scream, this will be much easier for the CT team. But
Tarek playing this great position here over on box and CT. If they go for the mid to B smoke and try and commit, he can actually shoot them while they push up to the top of the ramp towards doors and windows. And a lot of Ts don't expect this position. He has been playing on the Xbox over in CT spawn a lot, so I don't think they're ready for this. And Smith's going to be very close to attack. He will spot at the top of his head, not going for the wallbang. What is he doing? Smith actually just saw his head there. I'm not sure if he's even noticed him out fine. He will shoot. Going to miss that shot though, and Tarek is going to be going down finally to Smith. That was a long overdue on that frag, and meanwhile Shox is going to be pushed into the B side, but Hayes is still going to be there. Not for long though, as Smith lands a shot. He's going to be down to 4 HP, so Hayes getting a dink, and that's so unlucky for him. Not performing as well as his teammates this game, but you know, a lot of that's so unlucky. That should have been a kill for Hayes. Smith obviously too good with the reactions there, and Fugly and JDM will be on for the retake. Obviously they know Smith's dink, they know he's low HP. This should be pretty possible. Smith is going to be over towards tunnel though.
So why do you still have an AWP if you know Smith's distinct? That might be the reason, but now they really should just... JDM has his pistol out, and it is coming in. It is a fight with pistols, it seems. Smith's obviously going with the AWP still. Now JDM picks up an AK, and I think this is a much better decision, but Smith's... Is he playing this perfectly? It does seem like it, and JDM, I'm not sure he has time. This is going to be down to the wire. Does he have it?
Yeah, he has it. Just by a couple of seconds.
Yeah. It's less than a second, in fact. Yeah. Very, very close. Nicely played by Smiths, but it's kind of one of those rounds where either you have to commit to playing with the thought that... Yeah, exactly. Either you have to commit to the thought that, okay, he's faking and fall all the way back into dark, or you have to peek. And he kind of didn't neither. He was stuck in the middle, and so when JDM peeks, then he goes down. So, so I dislike that decision. You kind of have to commit to one or the other in that scenario, and he didn't. So Smith losing the round. Yeah,
Smith doesn't peek, but he would have won the round if he didn't peek at all.
Yeah, but so either you commit to that thought, but
either you don't peek at all. Yeah,
exactly. Either you don't peek at all, or you commit to peeking when he starts defusing the bomb.
Yeah. And he didn't look like he was going to peek at all, as he had that
so he was just stuck in the middle, and that puts you in a bit of an awkward spot. And that's why JDM, you know, he had less than a second. You know, if he just survives a little longer, then then he wins the round.
I'm not sure if you caught that, but Existence at the beginning of the round brought up a T auto sniper. I'm not sure if that was a misbuy, because he drops it off in T spawn and buys another AK instead. Didn't even shoot through the doors, I don't think. So we are going to be going into this round, the second last round of the map, in fact. It's missed with the AWP as well as JDM, and we do see Fugly with the P90. The CTs, despite winning the previous round, are struggling with their economy here. Fugly's just going to be forced out from behind the doors. They haven't actually spotted him out yet, though, so they don't know his position, and he's still going to be full HP, but it seems like Scream's going to be ready to lead the charge over towards mid. JDM not going to be holding mid, though, and they've got... I don't think they've got anyone holding it at all, and they should be able to catch out JDM, actually. Smoke will go down, and Smith is just going to miss it. They're actually committing to this push. There's only 2 players over on the B site, and Cutler is going to have to go towards tunnel instead, committing to Car here. And Hayes, good position. You will pick up one. Smith with a fast trade, and Cutler also going down. This round is going great for the Frenchman. They've taken control of the site, and the retake is going to be extremely difficult. I think CLG just need to commit to the save here. There's no way they can take the risk of losing too many players, which they start doing. Shox taking out Tarek, and JDM is going to be caught in CT, but he's going to find that frag regardless, and Shox going down now. So Fugly also Going to be coming in from mid here, but they don't realise Existence has dropped towards. He needs Fugly to support him. He will do so, and actually the retake is possible. 2 players remaining for either side, and Smith is going to be again with Yorp on the B site holding this down. RPK also joining for him change there. They will be using out the remaining nades for the round. And oh, Smiths and RPK are going to come in hot. G2 finishing off that with a 14 to 15, and now CLG are going to be destroyed in money.
Yes, in money, but CLG is a team that. Oh, now they bought an T auto sniper again. This time it makes more sense because they're going to be spamming the doors for sure. But CLG is a team that when they do upset on +2, it's 16-14. And it's really weird. And when it was 13-8 in favor of CLG, I was considering saying that they're going to win this game 16-14 like they always do. Now this time they don't really have the economy to play with, so it will be very unlikely. But then again, you know, it wouldn't really be that surprising if they actually win this round. It would be just the same old.
Yeah, because in the likely event that we go into overtime, I really think G2 are going to clinch it out. They're more experienced in overtime than CLG will be, obviously, and you do see CLG tend to collapse under the pressure a lot of the times, despite playing extremely well so far in this first map, you know, already securing match point and being so close to finishing out. It could still go in the way of CLG, but you've got to look at it realistically. With the amount of equipment G2 have, it's going to be a very difficult feat, to say the least, and it's just going to be so hard for them to do anything here.
And if CLG don't pick up those 2, I don't see any way back into this best of 3.
No, absolutely no. This is their map. This is their time to shine, and they've been doing exactly that. You know, playing against a supposedly superior team and actually almost finishing out. It could go in the way of them though, as Tarek is holding off this A site with a deagle. He lands a few shots. Some tags coming in. And Cutler's going to pick up the first frag of the round, so that's going very well for CLG already. They need to pick up more. The bomb is already on the site. They are going to be committing to the plant here, I think. It's RPK just being caught out on short. Smith meanwhile taking out Fugly, and the bomb finally making its way onto the site. Sorry, Existence taking out Tarek, and now Cutler could stop this bomb plant if he goes for the jump shot. RPK is very low, but he's actually going to allow him to get that. Smith, meanwhile, finishing off the player, and now Hayes is just going to be left alone, but he does pick up 2 instant kills, and now it's all on Scream. Oh, he's so low. Hayes could actually do this. He could stick the bomb as well. He's got no time, though. He's got no kit. I'm not sure if Scream's going to actually push towards the site. He doesn't realise he's sticking, but Hayes finally coming off the bomb. This is too close. Oh, my God. What is he doing? He's wasting all his time. Scream's going to peek out, and Hayes, he's actually going to clutch it. 16-14, and CLG will have the map.
Can I be called the prediction master for the rest of this tournament, please?
You can indeed.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. It happens every time. I can't believe it. Every single time. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Hayes goes against a 1 versus 3 clutch with a 5-7 versus Scream, and you know, it's a 1 versus 1. It favors Scream. Hayes starts committing to the bomb defuse, takes like 5 seconds, and then thinks, nah. Then he stuck it again, he could have stuck it the second time, and then he's like, no. And then the third time, I'm not sure if he just tapped it, and then Scream comes out, who is already low, and Hayes wins the fight, and Hayes gets the defuse, and CLG win the map. If they win this best of 3, I think like you'd want Hayes to be lifted by all of his teammates in like you know, I don't know what it's called actually. In Danish we'd call it like a king's chair, where you're like lifting him, and it's like they're just all there. And then lifting him out into the vehicle, which takes him to the hotel where they're going to be massaging him in the hot tub and
like you and Taboo.
Yes. No, but I mean, oh my God, what a game! That was a fantastic game to start off.
We were saying, because at least I was saying, you know, there's a chance, but I was sitting there thinking, there's no chance, there's no way, because Tarek's missing all these shots. If Tarek picked up maybe a 1D early on, I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's doable. They got the man advantage because these pistols are good for the retake in the close ranges. The AKs they might struggle with, and then. Or when I think it's over, I'm just like, okay, it's Hayes left. Let's just finish this off. Wow, we're going into overtime. This is a great first map. Hayes just goes, bam, 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 bam. 2 kills instantly. He has the sight, and as he said, just the
he instantly dinks Scream as well.
Yeah, oh, if he didn't get that dink, that wouldn't have gone well for him. But Scream, I honestly, going into that as well, analysing that last round, I'm not sure what Scream is doing.
I mean, first of all, it's you know, you see G2 using, they have 1 smoke. And they use it on shot. I mean, you can't really smoke off any areas very well. They could have smoked off where you normally plant the bomb for long and then gone for the one way down to the A ramp. I would have liked to see that, but that's, I mean, not really something that you have the thought of. So they smoke off short, which is, I mean, a very common decision, I guess you can say. And I understand it, but no one was coming from short. It was 2 guys from CT and 1 guy from long. They start missing all of the shots and they start overcommitting to a lot of peaks. And then Scream is actually on the opposite side of their own smoke, I believe. And then he really can't do much because the bomb plant is not planted for short because they don't have short control before they get the bomb plant. So Scream has to be in a very, very bad 1 versus 1. As soon as he gets dinked, he kind of just has to play the odds that he doesn't commit to the defuse.
But actually, going into the statistics now we see on the screen, I think it's the rise of the in-game leaders, okay? Right now, yesterday we saw Existence, the in-game leader for G2, drop, I think it was 37 frags in regular time, without overtime. I think
it was 32.
32 frags, sorry, in regular time. And I think we just saw there the stats for Cutler. He dropped 31 kills in that map in regular time. And he's the in-game leader for CLG, which is absolutely nuts. It's insane. 0 kills onto Shox, but Shox instead 29 on the losing side. Very impressive. 2 very strong players that map. Just that map generally was an extremely exciting one. I think that was my favourite map to cast this whole event. That was absolutely nuts in terms of the amount of frags that certain players got. And there we go. There's Cutler, 31 and 20. Not a high headshot ratio, but again,
doesn't really matter.
Not really relevant.
I think a lot can be said about Shox as well. He had dominant performances in some of the important rounds, some of the vital rounds where he would like push areas which are not places you'd normally push, and he just did it over and over again. It worked out well. But I think he got a lot of eco frags. He had a 4K in the 2nd round, I believe, of the whole game, and he picked up quite a few eco frags. Where Cutler, maybe I just didn't notice, but it was definitely my understanding that he was getting a lot more important frags, where Shox got a lot of easy kills. But of course, he was on the losing side. It wasn't a big loss, though. It was 16-14, so you can't really put too much into saying that he like Cutler had it more easy because he was on the winning team.
Yeah, again, it's hard to remember every single individual frag to go over, you know, who was more important or whatever. But despite that, I think we can both agree that Cutler definitely man of the match there.
Yeah. No doubt about it. He had a lot of good mid-round calls on the T side as well. We saw the round where JDM picks up the 2 players coming through the mid doors, where he's actually the guy who's stuck on short. There's 2 guys trying to peek his angle at the same time, and he gets 1 kill, and then I say, surely he must die now, and he doesn't go down. I think it's quite a bit of a misplay by Scream. Then he jumps up on the box, misses a whole magazine of shots on 2 guys who are not even aware of his position, goes down, and then he runs towards the B side instantly. It's very, very nice. Yeah,
very true. But the second map coming up, that should be coming up in a couple of minutes. Obviously, we're going to be going into G2 spec. Going into that, obviously, second map is
Inferno,
picked by G2. Yeah, we do see it there, obviously. And then third map coming up, Cobblestone. So before we go for a quick commercial break, what do you think is going to be happening in the second map? Do you think CLG will be able to rise out on top, or do you think they're going to have to be going to a third map?
Both are definitely in this Inferno game, I'd say, but I think G2 will be picking up, as I said at the start.
I think that's more than likely. But we will be going for a short commercial break, guys, just before we kick off in the second map of this great best of 3. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.